Hey, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Again, my name is Drew, aka Booty Sweat. If you're joining me for the first time, this is part of a long series of custom variation guides for Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Competitive Play. Today we're going to be doing D'Vorah. So stick around, we're going to go over some cool stuff with D'Vorah. There should be a little card at the top so you can check out the other entries in this series as well if you want to potentially play a different character. So without further ado, let's get into D'Vorah. Alright, so first thing is first with Variation 1, D'Vorah looks so sick in this skin. She kind of looks like she's from that 90s horror movie, Species, I think it was called. Anyway, this first variation is pretty cool. It's kind of a combo heavy but also trap character, so D'Vorah has a lot of set play opportunities, so if you're into that kind of thing, I am every once in a while, to be honest. You know, I kind of like to play a little set heavy character every once in a while. But she's into set play, and what that means is she's into resetting her opponent so that they have to deal with her pressure often. They have to deal with all her kind of like tricky little things she can do to get in and to kind of keep them on their toes so that she can apply pressure how she wants to. She's really supposed to be about enforcing her will on the opponent through her set play. Now, D'Vorah is not the best character in the game, but she has gotten some buffs over time, so she's really not bad, and a lot of people don't know the matchup because there's not a lot of D'Vorah players nowadays, so you're certainly going to have that advantage if you start playing her. So anyway, for this first variation, we've got her ability Black Widow, which is this creepy move where she comes down on a web and stabs them. You can use it as a combo ender sometimes, but really it's her combo extender. So you meter burn it, and then this happens, and then you can go into, you know, combos and do all kinds of stuff like that. So that's the first move that we have, but we also have another move on this variation that pairs really, really well with it, in my opinion, and that is her Bombardier Beetle. So what happens is she kind of, it's really nasty. If you see her stomach, it kind of jumps out of her stomach and jumps at the opponent and explodes. Does a little bit of damage, but the hit advantage on this move is insanely high. So let's get back to the center of the screen so arachnophobic people don't have a hard time with that. But yeah, so the hit advantage is really insane, and you'll see her forward one has really, really long range. So if they get hit by this Bombardier Beetle, they're going to be jailed into this. They've got to block it. You see, it even can combo with that if they get hit by it. So, you know, if they just manage to get hit by it, then, you know, you're looking at a combo or whatever. I did the wrong ender there, but so that move can apply a lot of pressure, but you can also use it on knockdown. So with her Black Widow move, that gets you a combo, and then you can end with this move while they're on the ground. So then they have to wake up and eat that pressure, because again, it jails really, really hard into other stuff if they get hit by it, and it can also potentially combo. But if you're not sure it's going to hit or not, you can throw it out, and whether or not they get hit, you can throw this out, and they have to block it, right? They can't duck it, even though it's a high, because they're jailed. So, yeah, you can then kind of use that to hit confirm into, you know, another combo. So, really cool stuff, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like real quick. And you see, you can even end that with a restand. Her back forward 4 gives you a restand. That puts you +4 on hit, and so you can then go into a throw, or if they're trying to mash out of it, then, you know, it eliminates their... shut up, D'Vorah. Even if they decide, you know, they want to, you know, maybe do a wake-up attack or whatever, they can't, because they're not knocked down. They're in a standing position. So, overall, really cool kind of set play here with these two abilities together. I think they pair really, really well together. I think D'Vorah actually got really buffed by allowing custom variations in competitive play, to be honest. But we're going to look at a couple of more options for her as well. Hello, Mr. on the right. Okay, just before we get into Variation 2, like always, I want to ask you to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, if you're getting some kind of value or help out of it. Stick around, because we're going to have lots more like it coming up soon. So anyway, getting into D'Vorah's second variation. So with this one, we have kept Bombardier Beetle because I just really, really like it as a combo ender, and it Does a pretty good, it's a pretty good pressure option, you know, if you're like wanting to do it like that. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention, you can actually amplify it and turn it into a low as well. So this is kind of an extra thing you can do with it. That can be pretty useful. Also, last variation, I kept saying Black Widow. It's called Widow's Kiss, so sorry about that. Anyway, what this variation does is it adds the Parasite ability, which gives D'Vorah an extra 3 combo strings and 3 additional crushing blows. So this is kind of like her crushing blow variation that we're going to look at here. So the first of these is this little combo move right here. And of course, you can get a crushing blow off this if it is a counter hit or a punish. So if you are punishing an unsafe move with it, you get a nice crushing blow for a pretty solid amount of damage, 30% basically just for having this equipped. You're probably going to get a punish at some point in a match, so that one's just really good to have. You know, you wanna equip that just for that, really. The other two, it starts from forward 2-2, both of them do, but then you go into 1+3, and if you hold up, then you get this ender. And if you use that move and only the last one hits, so only the last hit hits, so you whiff these two, and then you go into that, then you're going to get a crushing blow that way. And also, this one just does an obscene amount of bleeding damage. Look how much bleed that's doing. So, pretty solid. Finally, you get this one, which is done almost the same way, but by holding down instead of up. If you look at the inputs over to the left. And this one's interesting because if they block, it's an overhead. It ends with an overhead, as you can see. And so it just kind of gives her another mix-up opportunity. And honestly, I think it's if they block late, like if they realize too late that that's the string you're doing and they try to block it, but they don't quite get there in time, and you end up hitting them, you know, out of the block because they're blocking low and it's an overhead. That's how you get the crushing blow with this one, and the crushing blow with this one is pretty good too. So another really hefty amount of bleed damage. You get all 3 of those just with this variation. I tested it many times because I couldn't believe it, honestly, when I first was playing with it. And I was like, wait, so like using one doesn't get rid of all of them? Nope, you get all 3 of those. So all in all, you're going to have a pretty nice amount of crushing blows with this variation. And the final thing that I added was this move, because it also has a crushing blow. This one is similar to Raiden's Karate Chop overhead, because if they get hit by it twice in a row, and it's a double hitting overhead even, then you get a crushing blow. And of course you can get all kinds of cool combos off of that. So, anyway. And then, of course, off of that, you can set up your Bombardier Beetle, etc. So, just really cool stuff. It gives her tons and tons of crushing blow opportunities. You can, of course, throw in that overhead as a combo ender or a block string ender. It is very unsafe on block, but it's an overhead that you can end strings with. So, you know, not too bad. It's really strong, and if they're not really showing you that they respect your overheads, then, you know, you can potentially get that. And then, of course, you know, say you end that like that, and then they're not ready for you to do another one, well, then you get, you know, and then you can get like a restand into a throw or all kinds of stuff. So this variation is really strong because I think Bombardier Beetle is really strong. These extra crushing blows are just, they're kind of crazy. They're pretty good in my opinion. And then, of course, you have that overhead ability as well. Not too bad. Alright, for the third variation we are looking at more of like a defensive long-range playstyle for D'Vorah. She actually can get these 2 moves together now, which is her Stripsitera, whoops, which is this, and it kind of makes a little wasp fly out. Whoops. I can make a couple of them fly out. And now you see there are wasps buzzing around Kotal Khan. We also gave her the Deadly Swarm ability, which allows her to burn a meter to have those wasps attack him. So you see all that extra damage we just got? So how do you use this combination of moves? Well, again, you really want to kind of be throwing out the I don't know if I'm saying it right. Strip, etc. Trip, blah, 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 whatever it's called. It's a real word. It's used for bugs or whatever. So, but you know, you can throw it out, and if they get hit by it, you know, or you can throw it kind of in mid-range, and it can kind of act as a way to cover your advance. You know, it can, if it once it pops out, it can kind of cover you because it does hit mid. And also, you know, you can just kind of use it as a pressure tool, again, just sort of like Bombardier Beetle. But the thing about this move that's really cool, again, is you can amplify it and send out a couple more. And then, boom, you've got him all covered in wasps. And you got him taking a whole bunch of extra damage. So these two moves are also really good together. Again, that's why I kind of think D'Vorah got a big buff with this, with the ability to use custom variations in competitive, because together, whoops, you gotta wait till that one goes away. Together, these two moves are pretty good. So, you know, if you're able to like build these up, and you see they kind of buzz around him for a while. They have to hit him. I'm not hitting him, but they have to actually hit him, and when they do, they'll stick around. So he'll have these little guys buzzing around him for quite a while. I'm actually not even sure if they ever go away. We can kind of wait here and see if they do. Okay, so it's been like 20 seconds and they're still there. So I've never let them just sit there that long, so I wasn't sure how long they would actually stay if they went away after a little while. But you can see it's been at least 30 seconds now and they're still there. So they'll stick on him for a while, and then just, you know, whenever you have the space and the ability, you're just grabbing a bunch of extra damage for free, basically. So that's really, really cool. It's a cool move, and it's a really useful move. A lot of people use this move really well in competitive D'Vorah play anyway, but then adding the ability to, you know, do that on top of it is just really, really cool. And the last ability that we put on here is her flyby. So if you see, the main reason I like this is because of the mobility. Say, you know, you've got a Kotal Khan and he's kind of in your face and you don't really want him to be there. Well, this ability wouldn't normally be that good because then you land and you're super punishable. But you can hold down X and extend it and go like so far. I don't know if she goes completely full screen. I don't think she goes that far, but like almost. She goes really, really far. So if you don't want to do it in their face like that, but if you use this to get some space, I mean, it's really, really good for that. So if you want to get some space, use this move. You can extend it so far. I think the main thing that makes it good is how long you can use it and get really, really far away. You can be punished with like projectiles and stuff, but it can be kind of difficult if your opponent's not expecting you to use this move in that way. And again, not a whole lot of people are really going to know the matchup against D'Vorah. So you should be pretty good. And so yeah, again, you can, you know, end combo strings with this, and they've got to kind of block these. They can counter poke you. If they hit you out of that, then, you know, you'll lose that. But, you know, throw it out and then block. And if they're still attacking when this thing comes out, then, you know, of course you can, they'll get hit by it and then they'll have a wasp around them. But, you know, if they're not, then you get free pressure because they've got to block this thing, which of course is going to leave you way plus on block for you to go in and basically do whatever kind of nonsense you want to do. And then of course they've got more of this going on and you eventually get all this damage. So really, really neat stuff. I like this variation a lot. It's not my usual playstyle, but every once in a while it's kind of cool to mess around with stuff like this. So I think all three of these variations with D'Vorah are actually really good. I don't know which one's the best, but they're all pretty fun and they're all pretty good. So if you've never really given D'Vorah a fair shake, I would recommend you do it. She used to be just god-awful, but she's really not anymore. So get in there, try her out if she looks interesting to you. And yeah, let's get away from this guy. Alright, so that's going to do it for D'Vorah. Again, stick around. Next week we're going to be doing some crooked characters. We're going to be doing some kind of bad guy, skis bag characters. We're going to do Kano and Cabal and Aaron Black. So if you're interested in that, stick around, and then we'll have more coming after that as well. At any rate, have a good one and be blessed.